Hello everybody, hope you're fine. I'm very happy to be here, albeit on video, and it's a great honor for me to talk with you professors, lexicographers, researchers, and students. I know that the Dictionaries Society of North America Conference is one of the most prestigious scientific gatherings, and I hope that what I'm presenting here will not be a waste of your time. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to my close friend, conference organizer, Professor Ori Harkins. During the past 7 years, actually since I started my undergraduate program at Sheikh Babana University of Kerman, I've always benefited from his knowledge, and it's still going on. Today, I want to thank him again for inviting me and making it possible to present a video. I did my best to be in Boulder, but unfortunately I couldn't because of the long process of issuing the visa. Well, the title of my presentation is The Place of Persian-like Verbs in Active Bilingual Dictionaries. But before getting into the main discussion, let me make 2 points mentioned in the title clear: Persian-like verbs and active bilingual dictionaries. I'll continue on the PowerPoint slides.
Okay, the place of Persian light verbs in active bilingual dictionaries. Light verbs introduced first by Jespersen became one of the challenging issues in modern linguistics after they were focused on by Grimshaw-Mester in 1988. After the seminal article of Grimshaw-Mester on the Japanese light verb suru, which means I think to do, many researchers have focused on light verbs and complex forms of verbs. Light verbs are generally known as a group of verbs which carry some grammatical properties of a verb, but they are semantically bleached or devoid of meaning. Light verbs have been studied in different languages by many linguists from different aspects, but today our view is lexicographic. Before talking about Persian light verb constructions or LVCs, it's worth noting that, according to Karimi Dostan, there are 3 classifications of Persian main verbs. The first is simple or heavy verbs, such as neveshten, which means to write. The next, prefixed verbs. By prefixed, he means prefix-like elements such as baz, which means again or re, and ber, which means up or over. In baramadan, to rise as an example, ber, up or over, is an affix, and amadan, which means to come, is a heavy verb. And the last one is light verb construction, such as gush karden, to listen. Literally, gush means and karden means to do or somehow to make. Okay, Persian light verbs or LVCs, consist of a light verb and a preverb element. And the preverb element can be a noun, adjective, adverb, and prepositional phrase. Examples: noun plus light verb. Kar karden. Kar means work. Karden means to do. Kar karden generally means to work. Rahnamai karden. Rahnamai means advice. Karden means to do. Rahnamai karden means to advise. Javab daden. Javab means answer. Daden means to give. And javab daden means to answer. Or gul zaden, which means to deceive. B. Adjective or past participle adjective plus a light verb. Parakende. Parakende in Farsi means scattered. Parakende karden means to scatter. Parakende shoden means to be scattered. Karden and shoden are good examples of light verbs in Farsi or Persian. C. Prepositional phrase plus light verb. As dast daden. As means from. It's a preposition. Dast is a noun which means hand. As dast means from hand. As dast daden. From hand to give. It means to lose. Be dast avarden, which means to gain. Be dunya avarden. Be means to somewhere. In fact, dunya means world. Bedunya avardan means to give birth. D, the last one. Adverb plus light verb. Dear is an adverb, which means late in Farsi, in English, sorry. Dir kardan, it means to be late. Tond kardan, again, tond is an adverb, which means fast in English. Tond kardan, fast to do, which means to accelerate. Okay. According to Melchuk, in fact, in his meaning text theory in Persian, the vast majority, about 90% of verbal meanings are expressed not by individual lexemes, but rather by noun-verb collocations. I think it's important. Mohammed and Karimi in 1992 report that only 115 verbs in this language are used as simple lexical verbs. Not only have the majority of lexical verbs in this language been replaced by LVCs or light verb constructions, but also some of the common simple verbs, such as the examples here in this slide, have LVC equivalents, and native speakers prefer to use the LVCs rather than simple verbs. Please pay attention to the examples. Simple forms. Zistan means to live. Zindagi kardan, again, it means to live. But Persian speakers prefer to say zindagi kardan, not zistan. Guristan, to cry. Geriye kardan, to cry. Pardaktan, to pay. Pardakh kardan, to pay. So zindagi kardan, geriye kardan, and pardakh kardan are more frequent in our language. Okay, let us talk about the productivity of Persian light verbs. As you can see, the light verb kardan, which means to do, has the highest frequency. After this light verb, we have shodan, dashtan, dadan, zadan. For example, shodan or dashtan or zadan. Okay, in 97%, its usage is light. It means maybe to do. But in 3%, it means to hit somebody or to hit something. Okay, the question is that what is the equivalent of kardan in English? We say ishtibah kardan. Ishtibah means mistake. Kardan means to do. اشتباه کردن in English means to make a mistake. In Farsi we say تصادف کردن, but in English we say to have an accident. In Farsi تحقیق کردن, or in Persian, you know. But in English we say carry out, conduct, or do research. Again, in Farsi we say تعلیق کردن. تعلیق means abeyance, but in English we say put something into abeyance. Or even with foreign words, we can combine these light verbs with that foreign words. For example, email kardan. In English, we say send an email. Hammam kardan, take or bath. Take or have a bath. In fact, what I think is that, or my whole point is that, due to the high frequency of the light verbs in Persian, these verbs create many challenges in active translation. By active translation here, I mean translating from Persian into English, not passive, which means from English into Persian. As Atkins and Rundell said, active vs passive dictionary versus passive dictionary. If your own language is this SL, then your dictionary is an encoding dictionary, sometimes called an active dictionary. If your own language is the TL, then your dictionary is a decoding dictionary or a passive dictionary. You are familiar with these terms. According to Atkins and Rundell, we can have such terms: active, passive, encoding, decoding, etc. Yeah. You know, dictionaries, especially in translation, I mean, can be divided into two types of passive to decode or comprehend a text, and active to encode or produce a text. It is clear that compiling an active dictionary is more difficult because in such dictionaries it is necessary to provide extensive information about collocations and different linguistic structures in the target language. Now, I want to focus on translating a text in their own language into a foreign language. Here, I mean Persian into English. Okay, you know, we have collocations dictionary and active dictionary. The question is that, what's the difference between a collocations dictionary and an active dictionary? Collocations dictionary is a list of the most frequent collocations based on a corpus. But what about active dictionary? What are the challenges and solutions? Well, I want to present 4 screenshots from the best learners dictionaries in the world to show the difficulties of collocations or active dictionaries. Okay, please pay attention to the entry ban as a noun. Is Ban Ki-moon or Ban Ki-moon a collocation of this entry? I don't think so. Okay, so in my own opinion, it can be considered as an error. Okay, then next. If this verb purse occurs only with these noun lips, then I think you should write this phrase, to purse one's lips, in blue, without any definition for the main entry, like the entry aback, to be taken aback, yeah? But if we can say to purse one's mouth, then the story is different. And I think it should be written in black because we have a collocation, not a fixed phrase. Based on one of my, my friends, pay attention to the main entry base. Can we have at the base, on the base, to the base? I disagree. I think at, on, and to are relevant or work as a function for the base word base. Okay? We say people live on the Air Force. Live on the Air Force base. In my own opinion, on is relevant to live, not on the base. The planes have all retained it to the base. Again, to is relevant to the verb return, not to the noun base, I think. Okay, based on one of my articles entitled Investigating the Challenges of Persian into English Translation and its Application in Active Bilingual Dictionaries, in fact, I want to say the purpose of this study was to identify and analyze the challenges that a translator may face in the way of translation from Persian to English. The source of data collection was Shahr Khabar website. Shahr Khabar means the city of news. Sentences in 10 fields of political, sports, economic, employment, technology, art, medicine, events, tourism, and cultural news were analyzed. In total, the words of 100 sentences, 10 sentences from each context, were translated separately. A total of 231 translation challenges were identified and analyzed, which were classified into 7 categories. The findings of the research show that in Persian to English translation, the most challenges are firstly related to grammatical collocations with a frequency of 45%, and secondly related to light verbs with a frequency of 22%. Challenges related to lexical collocations, culture-bound terms, genitive marker or izafe marker, phrases, and idioms were ranked 3rd to 7th. Okay, just one example in this slide. عقابی که قربانی امنیت نوروزی ایران شد. It's a Persian sentence. عقاب means eagle, که means that or to, قربانی victim, امنیت security, نوروزی, Nowruz, the first day of the new year, you may know. Iran should means become or get. It's a light verb. Standard translation is an eagle that fell victim to Iran's Nowruz security. By comparing these two translations, we can say that the first challenge is about light verb شدن, قربانی شدن, to fall victim, not get victim, for example. The second challenge is about اضافه or genitive marker قربانیه. Victim to, not victim of, maybe in this sentence. Okay, also I know that we can say victim of, I know, but victim to in this translation, I mean. Okay, and here you can see this picture, the frequency of challenges. Okay, the first is grammatical collocations. The next is lightware. The next is lexical collocations. The next is culture-bound terms. The next genitive marker. The next phrase, such as on the way in Longman Dictionary of Contemporary English. And we have only one idiom in the 100 sentences. So idioms play an important role in active dictionaries, I think. Results. 1. Not everyone benefits equally from monolingual dictionaries, collocations, or active. The story is different for a language like Arabic or Chinese compared to Persian. 2. Translating a dictionary doesn't make it active. 3. Compilation of active bilingual dictionaries should be done with the help of experts of both languages. 4. Although the selection of entries is a function of valid English dictionaries, the expressions of that entry must be based on the foreign language, such as to make an abacus, which is frequent in our language. Okay. And well, it's over. Finally, I know that some of you know Arabic. I want to say something about Imam Ali from 14 centuries ago. This sentence has always inspired me. Indeed, knowledge is the source of light for hearts, enlightens the eyes of the blind, and gives strength to the weak bodies. Okay, thank you so much for your time and attention. Again, thank you to my close friend Orin Hardius for such an opportunity. My email address is here. I will be happy if you ask any questions. I welcome all questions. Thank you all in advance.